Somali-based Al-Shabab militants have launched 3 deadly attacks in Somalia and Kenya. An Al-Shabab suicide bomber rammed a vehicle loaded with explosives into an African Union military base in central Somalia. The explosion was followed by heavy gunfire at the Djiboutian base in the city of Beledweyne. The group also claimed responsibility for the assassination of one of Somalia's top intelligence chiefs, Colonel Abdul Aziz Araye, in Mogadishu on Monday evening. Across the border here in Kenya, Al-Shabab blew up part of a hotel in the northeastern border town of Mandera, killing at least 12 people. The attack targeted students who were visiting for drama performances at schools in the country. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta has called off an official trip to Angola following the attack. Let's discuss this development further. CCTV's Abdul Aziz Araye joins us live from Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. Abdul, in the last 24 hours, Al-Shabab has launched 3 attacks here in Kenya and in Somalia. It looks as if the militants have stepped up their attacks. What has led to this resurgence of violence?
Well, Penina, you're right. That has become an issue of major concern here and a topic of discussion here in the past 1 week. It seems that the Al-Shabaab is regrouping and launching deadly attacks, not just here in Somalia, but also beyond, like we witnessed today there in Mandera on the northeastern part of the country, Kenya. Now, experts here are saying that the Al-Shabaab is trying to make headlines, and not just locally, but internationally in the case of the attack on Mandera. Now, according to security experts here in Mogadishu, one thing that they are attributing towards the resurgence and the power that the Al-Shabaab is attacking with in the past few days is the fact that it's been able to overrun a series of military bases here in Somalia that has proved successful to them. Most recently, the Al-Shabaab attacked a police headquarters in Afgooye and managed to kill at least 9 people. So analysts are saying that the previous attacks against AMISOM and the previous attacks against Somali forces has empowered them to be able to attack at will. And also one thing to note also in regards to the attack in Mandera, Kenya is that, and this also has been confirmed with Jubaland authorities who are also on the border with Kenya, they're saying that it remains a major challenge to patrol the long and the porous border that the two countries shares. And also the fact that the Al-Shabaab remains very, very strong in the Jubaland region, especially in Middle Juba, where they control an entire region. This is 3 districts, the Jilib, Buale and Jamame. These are the 3 areas where the militants are believed to be launching attacks inside Kenya. So unless the Jubaland authorities are saying unless that security forces are enforced and properly trained to be able to monitor the border, it's going to be very hard to control the Al-Shabaab who go and attack Kenyan forces and also Kenyan public inside Kenya.
And Al-Shabaab says it wants to topple the government and drive out AMISOM peacekeepers. Given the developments we've seen recently, is AMISOM capable of effectively dealing with the militants?
Well, Penina, the attack today in a central Somali town of Beledweyne itself, where at least authorities are saying that 2 Djiboutian soldiers died in that attack. Other reports are indicating that 5 died. We've not been able to confirm the exact death toll so far, so now. But bearing in mind the recent events here in Somalia, AMISOM is saying that it's committed to improving and fighting to improving security and fighting the Al-Shabaab. Today we went to an area outside of Mogadishu. We met some Ugandan military personnel who are serving under AMISOM. Now, one of the things that the colonel there told us today is that the fact that Somalia is a vast country, and the fact that it's vast and that the 22,000 multinational peacekeeping force known as AMISOM is not in a position to be able to monitor and control the entire country because the country is quite vast. So AMISOM is saying that a shortage of manpower, that is one of the contributing factors that is making them not be able to control these areas. Another fact to note is that there is no strong Somali military that can be able to reinforce these areas once AMISOM kicks out the Al-Shabaab from these areas. So that also is an underlining factor, Penina, in this case.
And recently, Abdul, Afgooye was attacked by the militants. Have AMISOM managed to secure the town?
Well, Penina, we visited the town earlier today in a convoy of journalists here from Mogadishu, both local and international media. We went to the town of Afgooye. This is just some 30 kilometers south of the capital, Mogadishu, where earlier this week Al-Shabab attacked a police station there, killing scores of soldiers. So we went to that town to witness first-hand how authorities there were dealing with this attack. African Union and Somali troops manned the main bridge that leads into Afgooye, a rich agricultural town widely considered the breadbasket of Somalia. Meters away, police officers are trying to rebuild what was once their headquarters. Earlier this week, Al-Shabaab militants breached this security perimeter behind me, manned by the Somali police force, before detonating an explosive-laden vehicle right inside this compound that houses the central Afgooye police station. And behind me is the destruction quite clear. This is what remains of the Afgooye police station. This destroyed vehicle was one of the few police had available to conduct patrols in the town. And for now, this part of the structure is the main police post. Afgooye is in the Lower Shabelle region, an area considered the epicenter of the conflict in southern Somalia. This is where Al-Shabaab has attacked several military bases belonging to Somali and the AU peacekeeping force AMISOM.
The area is so big, so vast, so we need more manpower than we have. So I just think that it's a problem of manpower deployment vis-a-vis threat, because some places are threatened so much more than others. So because you have limited manpower, you may end up prioritizing the threatened positions.
The attack in Afgooye earlier this week claimed the lives of senior police officers, local government officials and civilians. It's raised concerns about security in the capital. Afgooye lies just 30 kilometers south of Mogadishu, which is set to host Somalia's upcoming presidential polls. Colonel Ronald Bigira is the man leading the fight against Al-Shabaab in this area. He is confident the elections will take place uninterrupted.
They threatened during the IGAD meeting. The IGAD meeting took place. They threatened to attack people during the Ramadan time. I think we went through it. So even the elections, we are sure, because we have already laid strategies that will make sure that the election takes place.
In recent days, some AMISOM forces have abandoned their posts. The AU described such pullouts as tactical, but authorities have warned that Somali troops aren't capable of handling security in the area alone. Abdul Aziz Araye, CCTV, Afgooye, Lower Shabelle in southern Somalia. Well, Penina, as we've put out in the report, Afgooye lies along the road between Mogadishu and the Lower Shabelle region. Lower Shabelle has become the epicenter of the conflict in Somalia for the past years. African Union bases also have come under attack there. But it will also be interesting to note that in the coming days, and this will also be an issue for the coming leadership that is going to replace the current government here, how it will be able to control that particular region, well aware now that AMISOM is withdrawing from areas that it once controlled, Penina.
All right, Abdul Aziz live for us there in Mogadishu. Thank you very much.